I thought before diving into these historically influenced epics, we should first quickly examine the religious aspects that permeate these films. In one, we have a clear attempt to represent a monk of the Benedictine order, circa 984 AD, an order that embraces study, prayer, and good works to mankind. In the other film, well, we must look to the star and the director's own personal beliefs for a thorough understanding of his religious intent. Mel is, of course, a sedevacantist Catholic, and as we all know, sedevacantists believe that every pope since 1963 has forfeited their position through acceptance of heretical embracement of modernism and modern values, and consequently there is at present no known true pope. We watch Braveheart and Dragonheart.
The French champagne.
Can you tell me which members of the Reservoir Dogs you two are currently dressed as?
I'm Mr. Pink.
Sis Blue.
So Miranda hasn't seen Reservoir Dogs.
Secret Nazis.
Yeah.
Secret Nazis.
Classic
Spielberg.
Classic Spielberg.
He needs to kill 94 different 65-year-old men over 2.5 years because those men's children are all identical clones of Adolf Hitler.
There's like a bunch of other shit that happens in Driven.
Is there?
Shake it! Shake it!
The schlocky movie from this week may be the schlockiest film we've ever seen on this podcast.
The Citizen Kane of the week is...
Wow.
So
Sean, just once, just once, can we make it like not like just make the intro about the movies and only the movies?
Oh,
it's just that like Sean, you've grown to take the intro to be like your extra time for likes and gripes.
Yeah.
Where
Wait,
it's
sorry,
like,
sorry, Jack. I think you're coming through the computer microphone.
oh, am I?
Yeah, which is fine because we can jump into this whenever.
Yeah, but there you
Go. That'll sound better.
Yeah.
Great.
But that you've been taking this intro to become like your extra gripe. It's like your beginning of the podcast gripe, where you're like, these are the movies. My concept for this week is Mel Gibson is a crazy nutso. So that's the intro this week.
Yes.
We're gonna lose all.
definitely
The Mel
capitalizing on the opportunity to introduce a very clear thesis.
Yeah.
But I also appreciate the deep thematic reading of the material, so I really can't object.
I missed the poetry that we used to get.
Right,
I
the
missed
Robbie
the
Burns.
characters.
Okay.
This would have been a good Robert
This
Burns
is
week,
guys, it's literally Robbie Burns Day.
What?
It is.
Holy shit.
Today is Robbie Burns Day.
Wow.
Robbie Burns Day.
The National Poet Laureate of Scotland.
You know, and you didn't even do
Whoa.
a Scottish accent. You weren't like, Mel Gibson, he believes in this and that. You know,
Well, why don't you continue your flawless Scottish as you introduce the podcast?
fine. Well,
Can you actually instead try and do it in the accent, whatever accent it was that Dennis Quaid was trying to do in Dragon?
Oh, okay. I'll do my best. Welcome to the podcast. I'm a generic hero. Hyanin. How'd you get in the character? Hyanin. Hyanin. You broke my oath, dragon.
Just a little bit more R roll in it. Like there's an attempt
Dragon.
somewhere.
Dragon. Hyanin. Anyway, welcome to Citizen Kane versus, where we compare a classic movie with a movie that is considered to be more on the schlocky side, and we ask ourselves honestly, which is better? My name is Jack Rennie, and I'm joined by my two friends, starting with one.
Is that me, Sean Jacklin?
That's you, yeah.
Okay.
I'm pointing. And the other,
Daniel Benoit.
oh wow, he's really
I'm working
pushing.
on it. I'm trying. It's a
We're
new thing every
workshopping.
week.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
we'll find it. I'll find it.
And we're joined by a dear friend of the pod, Mr. Brendan Green. Hi, Brendan.
Hi, Brendan.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And if you've been following the podcast, which we know that you have been, thank
Closely,
you.
religiously.
Yeah.
Like Mel Gibson follows.
Like a
papal
sedevacantist
politics.
Catholic? Yeah.
Yeah.
Brendan also pitched our movies for this week, which we're so thrilled to have. So if you didn't catch it already, well, why do I even bother saying it? I should just let Dan announce the movies once again with his summaries. You want to take it away, Danny boy?
Oh, do I ever? All right, here we go, guys. Ready?
Oh, Danny boy.
In the red corner, representing the classic, the epic tale of a brave young lad that leads a revolt of the Scottish people against the King of England after his wife is savagely murdered by the English army. Coming in at a whopping 178 minutes, starring Mel Gibson, Braveheart.
Okay.
And in the blue corner, representing the schlock, the team of a valiant knight turned dragon slayer and his new bestie, the last dragon on Earth, who team up with a town of poor villagers to defeat their tyrannical and kind of immortal king, coming in at 103 minutes, starring Dennis Quaid and Sean Connery, Dragonheart.
Okay. You got some bagpipe music in this episode.
Yeah, I know. Like the way you paused, I seriously thought you had a bagpipe track you were about to play.
Maybe
I thought it was
Daniel,
a dramatic effect.
May I suggest that instead of bells for this podcast, we have bagpipe sounds in between rounds?
Sure, but isn't only Braveheart in Scotland?
But Sean Connery is Scottish.
True. The Scotland is strong throughout both these films, I think.
I mean, we can do whatever you want. I was going to just have the sound of somene's throat being slit.
Ooh,
Oh yeah,
we can
what
also
it really
also
needs
good.
to be is just like clanging metal and like meat packing noises.
Just to improve on the podcast in general, if you could just have the drone of bagpipes overpower our voices entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah, really
That
high
actually-
pitched.
Oh, I can easily do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll at least get like the diehard like bagpipe audience.
Baggers,
Yeah,
we call
well,
them.
plus the AC/DC people are gonna get in on that. The baggers.
Great.
The funny thing is that like real bagpipe players would be probably really offended by being called baggers. So,
You know what? But I have a funny feeling that they would be also totally okay with it.
I think the only way you insult like
They're
stereotypically
pipers, huh?
Scottish people is like by comparing them to English people. Like they're otherwise very hardy people.
Yeah.
Okay.
You saw what they
Okay.
lived in. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Well.
I think we need to do like likes and gripes at the end in Scottish accents or something.
Ooh,
There's-
that's a
hard.
good challenge.
It really
I cannot do it.
That's
so
part
I'm,
of
I'm
the
just,
fun.
I'm just gonna bow out of that one. I'm gonna no, I can't.
All right,
I know.
we'll do it then. Perfect. It's just for 2
Great.
minutes then.
It's on. Perfect.
It's done. Okay, great.
I don't even know where to start.
Well,
So I had quite a bit of fun watching these movies. So thank you, Brendan. I'm sometimes known for pitching movies that are like fun, maybe because they're not fun to watch. I feel like that's something that I keep doing. So it's always great to have someone bring on movies that are both enjoyable to watch, even if it's for like different reasons of enjoyability.
Yes. Yeah. And I didn't even realize how true a thing that was until I got into it. And so I too was very happy with my choices. I hadn't seen either in years. And thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed them.
Yeah. Whereas like the shape of them, I would say Braveheart had this kind of long crescendo of a feeling. It really just feels like it's one long like journey forward. But the peaks and valleys of Dragonheart were higher, no question.
yeah, it's a roller coaster ride in that one for sure.
It is. Yeah.
Where you're
there's a real live hero's journey that goes on.
Yeah. Where you're at one moment you're like, are they trying to hide the CGI because it's bad? No, they were trying to hide it because they wanted to make it a great reveal.
Because it's the shark in Jaws, and they're gonna hit you with this shark in a minute.
And like, get ready for the tone to be weird.
Yeah. Oh, it's all over the place, right?
Yeah.
And that the opening 20 minutes or so of Dragonheart, that prologue is like, I'm just going to say, like, effing hardcore. Like, I was totally there. I was 10 years old, and like Connery's voice comes in, and I thought the direction was so strong. I was just so enraptured with it. And like you say, it flips on a dime. Like, they're just like, okay, broad daylight, there's a dragon, he's flipping around, they're shooting the shit. But it's really, really fun. It's a fun movie. It goes all over the place.
Well, let's pitch it. Let's pitch it against Braveheart. Huh?
Let's make them
get him in
fight
the ring.
It out. The real battle of these movies. Yes. So, round 1. Story good? The Citizen Kane of the week is